What's up, you guys? I missed you. Is that weird of me to say? Probably a little bit, but that's okay. So this is the second part of week 5 of my bikini style photo shoot prep vlog, and this is the second part of the weekend trip that I took to Vancouver, Canada with my mom and my little brother over Valentine's Day weekend. So this video is a little bit late. If you haven't seen part 1 of the video yet, there's a lot of food footage. I talk a little bit about my macro updates and kind of my progress updates. Check that out if you haven't yet, just so you can get some context for part 2 and what it is I'm actually doing. So this is part 2, and as promised, this video includes some footage from the training that I did at the fitness center in the hotel, which is very, very nice it's a very nice gym for a hotel. However, it wasn't necessarily a fully equipped gym, so I did have to make a lot of adjustments. Anyway, I did break up this video into 2 sessions. If you haven't seen the first part, please go check it out. I talk a little bit about what my macro and cardio updates were, and I did introduce this trip a little bit. I was trying to be as flexible as possible while also working towards my goals on this trip, so you'll see a little bit of that in that other video, but you'll also see some food porn and awesome food footage from this video as well, so stay tuned. So we got there Thursday night. Thursday night I actually did go down to the fitness center and did cardio for about an hour just to burn 400 calories on low intensity, steady state. I split it up between elliptical and treadmill, but that's all boring, so I'm going to stop talking about that and get to the fun part, which is the lifting part. This is footage from the Friday right before Valentine's Day. Basically, we did a lot of exploring throughout the morning, throughout the afternoon. Around 3:30, we had a couple hours of a break, and I only had about an hour to actually go in and do my workout, which was kind of nice because I've been noticing that my workouts have been taking longer and longer, and I am trying to reduce them down a little bit because I am anticipating having to add more cardio towards the end of my workouts, and I don't want to be at the gym for 2 hours training and then half an hour of cardio. I'm trying to shorten that as much as possible, that way I can also stay focused and on top of things as I'm actually doing them. Anyway guys, this intro is getting a little long, which is pretty typical of me, so I'm gonna save all the macro, cardio, progress updates for the end of the video, so if you would like to hear about my updates, stay tuned for the end of the video, but I'm gonna get to the lifting footage right now. I'm not gonna do any sort of benching today, most likely, because I don't really have time. I have about an hour to get my workout on, but that'll keep me on my toes a little more and get me out of here a little quicker, hopefully. So let's get started. Empty gym, what's up? Oh man, there's like weird music going on. Alright, before we get started, you guys, I am using the 45-pound plates instead of the 25-pound plates, and I actually have to go up in weight because if I were to use the 25-pound or 35-pound plates and lift 95 or 115 in increments of that, then I would actually, the bar would be lower to the floor, which would be throwing off my form a lot more, so I'm going to kind of, sometimes you have to tweak your exercise a little bit, so that's what I'm going to be doing right now. We'll see how it goes. Alright you guys, so I did start off with a 5x5 of sumo deadlifts, and I wanted to point out something real quick here. My hips are shooting up a little bit faster than I would like them to, but take a look at the left, so my reflection in the mirror, and then the right, the side of me. Look at how in the reflection it looks relatively normal, and this is what you see when you're training, but from the side it's kind of a completely different picture. You see a completely different perspective of your actual lift, so record yourself, guys. So real quick before I move on to my next set, I want to point out a few things. There's a lot of little changes that are making it kind of difficult, or challenging rather, to actually focus on my actual lift. First of all, there's no platform, it's just kind of a general empty space, which is really kind of weird mentally to wrap your head around that. There's no people here. I don't have my weight belt, which is weird. I didn't really get a chance to warm up. Besides just doing my general stretching, because that's the lowest weight you can put on the Olympic bar with having it the same amount of distance from the floor, so I couldn't really warm up with like 95 or 115 or anything like that. And then finally, the thing that's really, really messing me up is the fact that there's not really any slack in this bar, so when I'm putting it down, it just is like a thud all the way down, whereas at my school gym, at my college gym, there's quite a bit of, oh look at that, look at that. Whereas at my college gym, there's quite a bit of slack in the bars, so it's definitely taking a little bit of getting used to. This gym overall is not really equipped. It has a lot of the good basics, but there are a few things I'm going to have to tweak a little bit about this workout just to be able to get in my actual exercises. Not everything is going to be perfect all the time. I am on vacation. It's Friday afternoon. But when you have goals, when you have things that you're reaching for, you need to make adjustments. You need to be able to be flexible. You can't just be stuck in your own gym, in your own mentality. If you have goals that you're serious about, you need to be able to adapt, and you need to be able to go with the flow a little bit, kind of like I'm doing here. God damn, this is nice. You need to be able to adjust your workouts, adjust your diet plan, adjust whatever you need to do in order to make every day count towards making your goals happen. So, let's do this! Anyway guys, what I was saying with that is what you see directly in front of the mirror may not actually reflect your lift, which is why I'm such a strong advocate of recording yourself from the side, getting a few different perspectives, because I really wasn't realizing how much my hips were shooting up in here. I think it definitely was impacting me that everything was kind of different and that I didn't really get a chance to warm up, but it also really helped actually seeing that change, and I'm gonna play the raw footage so you can hear me. So this is kind of weird footage, but I wanted to show it to you because I wanted to point out that sometimes when you're at a new gym or when you have new exercises, you kind of have to rearrange things and play around and figure things out and kind of look like a dork, kind of look out of place, and that's okay. Sometimes you just need to do what you need to do, and that's fine. If I look super confused and out of place, it's because I am. So this fitness facility didn't have a low pulley cable row. It had a lot of isolating things other than that, but it didn't have this particular machine. So what I ended up doing was actually just bringing a bench over and attaching a little grip to one of the cable pulleys. So you do kind of have to improvise and make do with what you have. In this case, I kind of dropped down in weight a little bit, just because there were so many adjustments and I had to adjust where my feet were. Usually they're directly out in front of me, but I did have to drop down weight so that I could still try to isolate my lats and my upper back as much as possible. And in this next clip, you will do a pull-up, but the bars were weird, so I couldn't even get that. Oh, and then I'm trying to up next we have some bicep curls, and you guys, again, take a look at the mirror, at the reflection, at what I'm seeing, and then take a look at the side and what's actually going on. One of the things that have really helped me with my bicep curls and with isolatory movements in general is trying to keep my weight on my heels as much as possible. I see a lot of people drift their shoulders, drift their upper body out in front of them, and use that momentum, but there you're not really getting your range of motion. Make sure that your elbows, you're keeping them directly to the side of you. You're not letting them swing out forward too much, you're not letting them swing back. Try to keep them as flush with your hips as possible so that you can get your full range of motion without using momentum. And then also, as always, you guys, pinch your shoulders back, because as soon as you start hunching over, you're reducing the full extension of your muscle and you're training your shoulders to slouch forward, which is the last thing you want to do, because what are we trying to make? Aesthetic gains. We are at the duty-free store at the Canadian and American border, and I wanted to show you guys a few kind of oddball things that I found that were kind of, I think macro people are going to appreciate a little bit. First of all, we have two giant Reese's peanut butter cups, and this is, I believe, they're a pound each. Serving size is 1/12 of the package. That's depressing. They're very big. Sorry, these are actually half-pound cups. So this is an entire pound of chocolate. Look at those giant bars. Maple syrup for days. And for the macro counters out there who can't open a jar of Nutella without eating the whole thing, portion control Nutella. Look how cute it is. It's so little. And then I love this brand. Kinder Surprise. So many. And then look, you can buy little packs of them for your coworkers. That's ridiculous. You know what will never fit my macros? Even on a refeed. This just seems like a terrible use of resources. There's like 4 or 6 per package or something like that. There's 60 of them in each. It's pretty ridiculous. We are at Applebee's heading back. It's around 3:40 p.m. I think I had like a sandwich or something earlier in the car. Didn't expect to be going. We didn't really know where we were going to be stopping by, but And this is the part that I accidentally put my finger on the microphone so you can't actually hear anything I'm saying. So basically what I was saying is that Applebee's just started their pub diet this year, but if you look at the nutritional menu for that, the macros are really stinking good. I downloaded the menu on my phone. The highest fat item was 29 grams of fat. Protein content is actually really high as well. It's anywhere between 22 and 49 grams of protein, while the fats range proportion anywhere between 9 and 29 grams, which is really, really good, especially for a chain restaurant and especially for a pub type restaurant. We will see about portion sizes in a minute here. I did get the pepper crusted sirloin and grains, which also happens to be the lowest fat item on the menu. It was either that or the shrimp and broccoli cavatappi, which also had like 20 grams of fat or something like that. I was super indecisive, so I had my mom choose for me. So hopefully we will make all sorts of beef games. I allocated macros correctly today. I am learning, you guys. So this is it. It's kind of small. Here's my hand. It's definitely should be on a smaller plate. Here's the spinach. Some grains in there. So that's what that looks like. Is it recording? Yes. Is there a red button? Yes.
Your hair was in the way.
It's really good. It's really salty, which I really like. I like it. We'll see how filling it is though. Those first few shots didn't really show what the grains were, but this is kind of what was on the bottom. There was a lot more of this, but I thought I'd show you guys because it looked like it was all spinach, but it was kind of this medley that was really tasty. There's kind of corn, a couple of different greens, mushrooms, there was some tomatoes, some spinach. It was really, really good, and then it was all in a beef broth. Get it, boy. It is Valentine's Day, and I am low macros, so we went to a sushi place, and there's conveyor belts. This is the Cookie Panda's first time at a conveyor belt sushi place, which is totally crazy. So we'll see what we get. So these were my boyfriend's, but I had one shrimp tempura rolls, absolutely amazing. First time I had those. Half of a spicy tuna roll. I had a little bit of salmon sashimi, a little bit of miso soup, and not pictured here, half of a California roll. Thanks for watching the video so far, you guys. As promised, I'm going to give you quick updates about my macros and kind of what I'm going through. So this is still week 5 for me, so February 8th through the 14th. Right before Valentine's Day weekend, you can see I got to enjoy some yummy food, although I did have to do it in moderation and I couldn't exactly pig out on a lot of the pastries that you probably saw in the last video, and if you haven't yet, go check it out. How many times can I say that? I'm just kidding, I love you guys. So my average weigh-in last week was 141.8 pounds, and this week it was 140.4 pounds, although I wasn't able to actually weigh myself while we were in Canada, which is okay. So I did lose about 1.5 pounds this past week. Macros for this week were 150 grams of carbs, 140 grams of protein, 50 grams of fat a day. That's a total of about 1,610 calories a day. My coach was also having me do 3 sessions of low intensity steady state cardio a week to burn 400 calories a piece. So he did add cardio, he did add an extra day of cardio for me. So that kind of gives you a sense of where I was this past week. I actually started off the beginning of the year at about 148 pounds, so I am down about 8 pounds, and it's mid-February at this point, so that's pretty exciting. Anyway, you guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this second part of my travel adventures. Please, please, please leave comments below. I love interacting with you guys. I love hearing what you guys have to say and getting to know the person behind this screen. If you liked the video, please be sure to give it a like. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'm pointing in various directions. I'm not really sure where it is right now, but it'll be somewhere on the screen. So please hit that subscribe button so you can get updates when I post videos, and so that we can help this channel grow, because I am trying to help as many people as possible with the things that I'm learning on this journey, and with some of the things that I've picked up on as well. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in a few days, and as always, don't stop growing. And in case you guys are curious, this is what I got for Valentine's Day from the Cookie Panda. I got some really beautiful flowers, and then I got a bag of Hershey Kisses with a caramel filling inside. These have been my favorites lately, and I did request them, but it was really sweet that he got them for me. But he got me a bag of heart-shaped rice cakes. He actually went in and cut them all up into hearts. It's really cute. And he also gave me the leftovers because no macros were wasted.